Absolutely. All right, folks, 1 minute to air. 1 minute. Good afternoon, one and all. Got a little crazed last night. There I am. Folks, look at this beautiful noon report Tuesday. Here I am. It is Juan. We are 1 minute away from there. Hi there, Anne Marie. Wait a minute. Donna Taylor's here. No one told me that. There's Kathy. There's David Sammartino, folks. Communicate with David every day more than my own family. Folks, we are live on the air. Just a moment. Just a moment. Yes, thank you, Bendy. That is exactly right. The original influencer, without question. Well, folks, good afternoon. Right now it is 12:06, and you are listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Folks, God is good. The weather this week is ideal. Good sleeping temperatures at night. Weather today just terrific. Actually, pretty sunny out. Good afternoon, one and all. Right now, 12:06 on this Tuesday, May 9th. You're listening to the program AM 1380 or try the 99.9 FM. Now remember, hold on, time out. You can always listen online at the website, DePetro.com. I want to welcome everybody in. This is the noon report. Some people watch it live. Some people watch it live. We've even explained when it's on that they could watch it live. When it's on. When it's on. You can also, some people watch it a little bit later. Fine. Then you just type in replay, hashtag. You can share that, yes, you can share that you're watching. Someone was asking me, I was taking part of one of those big tech conference calls, and they were asking me about Instagram. And I said, one of the problems is it's not easy to share. Of all the apps, I think that's my least favorite. But the beauty of Facebook is you can share it. And then you can also, if you type in someone's name, that should notify them that, that we're on and that they could then watch it and alert them to that, much like yesterday in North Kingstown. So, and also many people then watch this later on Spotify and also on YouTube. And I also want to thank Bendy. He is so talented. He is someone, that knew I wanted to be able to reach more people, put more content out there. And Bendy has been a tremendous mentor in learning the ropes on that. Right now, many of you that are watching this on YouTube know, I mean, the YouTube channel right now, there's so much potential for growth. And it's little by little. Now, Facebook also is, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. Yesterday was a good example, which I'm going to touch on. But this portion of the program, folks, when you hear me mention these great sponsors, and you wonder, Juan, how can we ever thank you for being the on the scene live stream, first one on the scene live stream? The answer is support many of our great sponsors. That there's probably really no way you can thank me. You could certainly try by sending stars, subscribing to the page, sharing, watching, like so many of you do. As many of you know, April was a record-setting month. I have full confidence May will be right there, since we are in real live stream season, as I call it now. But this portion of the program is brought to you by PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Now, right now, they have delicious vegetables, herbs, annuals, perennials, hangers, 10-inch, 12-inch moss baskets, 12-inch patio pots. They also have tropical hibiscus, mandevilla plants. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. They support the program. They listen to the program. Good afternoon, Debbie and Steve and Junior and Byron. Stop it and see them. 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown, right off of Route 4. Folks, great service. They grind it. They're open 7 days a week. The next day off is Christmas Day. It is much like my schedule. PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Now, you can also look for them on Facebook. They have a good Facebook page. Now, check out the website, DePetro.com. There's something unique there that you're going to find, and I like to point out. I believe, you part of being new media, and that's what we are, right? As I was dubbed by the people at Meta, I am a new media content creator. Because I get these people that want me to investigate, various things they're involved in. What kind of investigative journalist do you... I didn't say I was. We are new media content creator. That's where we are. And check out the website, DePetro.com, and I'm going to tell you why. But first of all, brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Hey, why not go there for lunch? Why not go there for dinner? Mother's Day coming up. You can still get a reservation. Jim and the staff there are fantastic. 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. They know when I walk in, if I go to the bar, I don't even have to order and there's a shot in front of me. That is good service. That's Juan's kind of type of place. Folks, thumbs up for the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue in West Warwick. But if you log on at the website, where you can also get merch, by the way, but we may have those hood ornaments. I want to commend Carmine came up with that. That looks like a good hood ornament for the Juanmobile. But if you log on, you're going to see video North Kingstown police standoff. So you're not going to see that video on Channel 12. I love these people that still say, I didn't see it on Channel 6. You don't say. Is George Allen still on Channel 6? Nothing against. I get along with the people there. But, all right, in no particular order, let's name some of the reporters at Channel 6. Let's see, there's you see the North Kingstown police standoff, right? We weren't one of the media there yesterday. We were the first one on the scene, only one on the scene yesterday for that police standoff in North Kingstown. I love these people. That's funny. I didn't see anything in the Providence Journal. Call 1989 and tell them you want to go. But no, you're not going to see anything. I mean, people are just slow to the game here. Folks, those days are over. I still flip to the Journal, but when did their sports section become like the Patch? The Journal sports section. Boy, it's a long way from Kevin McNamara. Now, we have the video up, the Cranston cocktail. Molotov cocktail thrown in Cranston. We have that. We have all the Cranston PD Live. We have the Charlotte Lester case. No one has done more coverage on that. Now, a week from tonight is the vigil for Charlotte. Oh, did they find her? Yeah, they found her. We just didn't mention it. No, they haven't found her. They're not going to find her, I don't believe, unless someone confesses. But there will be a vigil next Tuesday night. So you can get all the information right there, folks. And the Leopold decision. You heard us speaking with Chief Lynch. He's terrific, by the way. I've known him a very long time. On that Officer Lugo. Did you notice? The media didn't do a big story how Jen Rourke was inconsistent, basically lied to the state police, and Lugo was found out. Boy, that's odd. Isn't that interesting that all these activists that were, quote, in the media didn't want to have a positive police story? Now, also, while we're on the subject of DePetro.com, no eyes, DePetro.com. Here's a question I'm often asked. How can I reach you? How can I contact you? Gee, it'd be nice if at the top of the website we had contact Juan. We do have one. You just press that. Boom. But we have the Warwick Saturday night manhunt for the armed suspects. Now, last night, it was a little hectic with Juan after dark. But you could see the video. I was out there. You had armed black male suspects. Oh, can we still say that word? Non-Caucasian armed suspects. They stole this woman's vehicle, We had her on last night. I still get these messages. That's funny. I was just checking Channel 10. They didn't have. Yeah, no, they don't have it. Because I was the only one out there. What part of the media is evaporating? You guys don't understand. So many members of the media today, folks. They're like back in time. Don't even get me started with some of the talk hosts. They think it's the old days of Sherm with this, cigarette in this hand, as he's like flipping through the Projo with the other hand. No, no, no. You got to be out there. You got to be where the people are. But you see that, and then especially the North Kingstown thing. That was pretty dramatic yesterday. It's a happening. DePetro.com. All right, now, and I did want to mention. So last night, you got to understand, I was the only one that was there, and then so you had people reaching out, and then there was we were interviewing the woman from Warwick whose car was stolen, then abandoned. It's 4 black suspects with ski masks stole her car and left guns and drugs in her car. Only one with the story. But in the middle of that, I had people reaching out because I was the only one on scene in the North Kingstown situation. And there was someone completely unrelated, another law, not North Kingstown, and certainly not Warwick. Another agency said, "Can I get video? Because there's someone I think we were looking for who was in your video many times." Right? People go. I get contacted quite a bit by law enforcement because there are individuals that go by a crime scene, almost like someone that's like an arsonist, where they light something and then they go to the scene later. So it was a different agency, and I had to find it, and they wanted to verify the stuff. So the night got away from us, and then things were just thrown off a little bit. But anyhow, we'll follow up on that. We've still done more than anyone. That's very dramatic. The woman, and again, I have full confidence Warwick Police will make an arrest in that case, but that's another example of a story. Now, I want to talk about the videos, and I know the person that did them. He actually did security for me back in the summer of 2020 when we were being attacked. It was like he and I, the guy that did the video of this woman that lost her mind in Providence. There is something to be said when you go to like combat. But we were in the middle of a riot, is what we were in the middle of. But anyhow, I want to talk about that video because the mainstream media, now it's not my video, so it's his video. So I shared it. I can't post it other places. I'm trying to find out, where he has it. He's terrific. I've known him, as I said. I started dealing with summer of 2020. He's former military and would provide security. One of several people provided security for me. But I want to talk about that video because there's a reoccurring theme here. And what you see, it's worth discussing, and I want to touch on it in this portion of the program, folks. And it's brought to you by J. Perry Paving. Listen, Mother's Day is coming up this weekend. Father's Day is going to be coming up. Why not give your folks or your grandmother, grandfather, maybe your spouse, a reason? You know what they would love? They'd love to have their driveway paved. It improves the look of the house. It improves the look of a parking lot. They could do your patio. J. Perry Paving. High quality, letter J. J. Perry Paving, not J-A-Y. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service, 20 years experience, specializing in commercial paving, residential paving, seal coating. Free estimate, any project. Call J. Perry Paving today at 401-732-1730. 401-732-1730. Letter J. J. Perry Paving. And remember, they're a licensed and insured contracting company. I've dealt with them. Their work is fantastic, and it's first rate, serving Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Maybe it's a brand new paving project. Maybe just something, cracked driveway needs to be refreshed. Contact J. Perry Paving. Free quote, 401-732-1730. You can also find them on Facebook, and then they're also online at jperrypaving.com. So I shared this video, and folks, again, good afternoon. It's 12:19. Obviously, we are in, major live stream season. We'll be going later tonight, and then Cranston PD Live next episode comes up Friday night. That is very dramatic video when we are right there. I haven't been that close to a fire since, I don't know when, if ever, actually. You can see it all right there. It's on YouTube, but it's also right here on Facebook. We'll be live on Facebook, and it's also on Spotify. But the video that people are talking about, because it's pretty dramatic video, and if you haven't seen it, I want to find a way that we could share it, because I have people sending it to me, and I did share it on the page and so forth. But the video it was on Charles Street, Branch Avenue. I think it was yesterday morning. And there's, excuse me, folks, there's a UPS truck coming down the street. And where his nickname that I knew him as, his backpack, where he hears this big commotion and these people are fighting. And there's a woman who's white, by the way. So she's on the windshield of the UPS truck and screaming at the driver and talking incessantly, and then kicking at the driver. And then he has other videos where the Providence police finally show up. So, excuse me. So first of all, I mean, it's crazy. The woman is on the windshield of the UPS truck, and she is a maniac. So when you first see it, I mean, your reaction is, and it's normal, is to laugh at the spectacle it is. And then she's kicking the police, and she's biting the police. And, I mean, that part's not funny, but there's three of them. And you also, though, this is one female, white, kind of petite, not like a huge person, but look how difficult. Look at how difficult, right, that individual is. So many times police come under fire. Oh, there were 5 or 6 of them. You look at, that's a petite female, and there's 3 officers. And she's tough to handcuff and get in the car and the whole thing. All right, let's do this. Let's make her 6'4" and 260 pounds. How do you think those 3 officers would have fared? No one ever explains that. Why many times? It's not easy to handcuff someone, by the way. It's not as easy as people. People are used to watching. Too many people watch film and television. They think that's what it is. That's not what it is. If there's someone's juiced up and they're moving nonstop and punching and fighting, it's difficult. So they should have tased her. I don't know why they didn't tase her. People are saying they should have tased her. But here's the part that I want to get to, is the woman is clearly on drugs. I would guess meth, but we don't know. Who knows what someone is taking? But what stands out to me is it immediately starts the comments that people start putting about, well, we have a mental health crisis in this situation. And there's someone that I invited, because sometimes I will comment and go back and forth, especially when someone's putting something really annoying. But there's someone who Sarah Marie is her name, and I messaged her, do you want to come on? Because we've been kind of going back and forth. And I don't know this individual. I'm not trying to embarrass. Thank you for the stars, by the way. Thank you, David. David is just fantastic. I'm telling you, David Sammartino, it's like we have a police officer that's working on the program. I mean, he is a very instrumental part of Team One. But it starts again with this lady that leaps up onto the UPS truck. My page is for amusement. My page is for entertainment. So, and I can't stand these people. Oh, you think it's funny? Yeah, we do think it's funny. Okay? It's not sad, it's pathetic, is what it is. And it's unacceptable. Oh, you people think, yeah, we do think it's funny. Get lost, scram. You're entitled to your opinion? Guess what? We're entitled to our opinion. Yes. Yeah. Guess what? Here's another thing. Somebody sleeping in a doorway? Unacceptable. Well, it's sad you're making fun of them. Well, too blanking bad. Hey, get off the page. But this is ridiculous. Who are these people? They claim the moral high ground. Hey, screw. That's what I feel like saying. I posted another one. Now some people are afraid to comment. Oh, I think I'll just sleep in. Yeah, I'm sure the business is thrilled you've decided to camp out there. So we posted new hood ornament. Now I mean, to me, that's funny. That would be funny if on my hood I had right at on your hood, I had a woman in a white pink top. And I meant that the UPS truck is also part of the ornament. So it'd be a UPS brown truck and then a white tiny doll on it, and then that would be an ornament. But these people, and I'll address it directly. Let me find it. Oh, it's like the ultimate killjoy, right? The people like, well, I'm glad you think it's funny. Get lost. I left the nuns behind in St. Paul's School a very long time ago. So, like, beat it, right? Like, we don't need that. There's no one, as I always say, there's no one forcing you to comment. You have your right, all right. You have your right on your own page. Everything has its own tone. Here it is, Sarah Marie. Well, this person obviously needs help. I pray she gets some. And then and then someone else. I'm thinking the same thing. This isn't funny at all. Obvious mental health crisis. And they just keep arguing that. Don't you realize drug addiction and mental health is the same thing? No, it's not. You don't believe drug abuse and mental health are part of the same problem? Excuse me, no. No. I have different experience, granted. We're not going to use your own, but hold on. Time out. That woman. Someone said to that woman, and I don't know the woman that is the hood ornament on the UPS truck. Stay with me. Someone said, hey, you want to get high? And let's guess what her answer most likely was. Do you think she said, no, I don't think these illicit drugs are healthy for... No, I'm willing to bet she didn't say that. This isn't alcohol. No, this is crazed behavior. However, look at the people that say, there's some woman, I don't know what, she was some model, and now she's like a wreck in Hollywood. See, remember the old commercial? Here's your brain, and here's your brain on drugs, and then the egg fries in the pan. I think we ought to go back to that. There are people that are born that have mental health problems. That is 100% true. They need to get the support they need, the help they need, and then they need to stay on their medication. And unfortunately, and it may be a buzzkill to them, but it's not a good idea for them to either go off the medication or take illicit drugs, or that's right, my little town. I'm telling you, I'm going to have it. We're going to do merch of the UPS and then the little pink stick thing on the front as a hood ornament, or maybe as a Christmas tree ornament. But we ought to go back to that, because so many these people, that's not what this is. And these people with this narrative, and I can't stand, it's false narratives, and they think they're going to, they dictate. Oh, well, what are you doing to help? What do you mean, what am I doing to help the problem? Do you have any idea how much money we give Crossroads and all these homeless advocates and everything else? You think I'm going to solve the blanking problem with my Facebook page? Have you completely lost your mind? We posted that guy he was passed out on the sidewalk in front of CVS. These people, well, did you go over and check on him? You mean, did I go over as opposed to the Providence police, the CVS employees, the Brown University police? So I was supposed to go over and check on him? Like, what are you talking about? No, I wouldn't. Why? Do you know how many people were going by there? All right, maybe we need to approach the problem differently. You had tents at the State House. And then what accompanied the tents? Needles. All right, they're injecting drugs. They're drug addicts is what they are. That doesn't mean it's a mental health crisis. You had the people sleeping under the underpass. What did I find? Needles. Okay, those are drug addicts. They want to stay where the drugs are. It doesn't mean that they are mentally ill. The drugs are causing their behavior. That is not the same as a mental health crisis. Kids that are depressed because of the pandemic is not the same of someone. I used to, when I worked in a nightclub, I remember there was a band, I won't say which one, that they had a drummer who'd get really nervous before they had a big show. He was so nervous, he would stay up and do blow for like 2 days straight. How do you think he performed? Did he have a mental health problem? Well, I'll tell you this. If you're up 48 hours, right, doing nose candy, you're not exactly thinking rational. His beat was off with the rest of the band. Did he have a mental health problem? Well, I mean, that's debatable. But doing an 8-ball for 2 days didn't improve his mental health. I'll tell you that much. How many people have said they were drunk out of their mind, right? Fall down drunk type of thing. Yeah, drunk out of their mind. Do they have well, there's a mental health problem in this. No. The bottle of whiskey they consumed caused the behavior. So this individual, it could be any one of us, not necessarily. No, I'm still not going there. That could be you under that underpass. I don't plan on doing meth. I don't plan on injecting heroin, fentanyl into my system. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be me under the underpass. That could be any one of us sleeping at the Rhode Island State House. Not so fast. What do you mean us? What do you have, a mouse in your pocket? No. Wrong go. We have we have an illicit drug problem in the country, and it's getting worse. Notice no one mentions that cannabis now is like everywhere. Do you think if someone had some weed, do you think that woman is a hard no or a maybe to maybe have some? If someone had some blow, or if someone said, hey, I got some oxy, right? Do you think that woman on the UPS thing, do you think she's the type like, I was reading an article, I read these drugs aren't particularly good for you, they're not really healthy. Do you think that's her answer? Or do you think she'd be like, let's roll, let's go, right? Hey, Coke makes you feel like a new man. The only problem is the first thing the new man wants is more Coke. I am not denying. That's what we have. But look how they're being conflated. No, mental health is that woman. See, she has a mental health problem. Wrong. You don't know that. She probably has a drug problem. I am not denying these drugs are highly addictive, which is why you shouldn't do them. Well, back in 2009, CVS was selling OxyContin. Yeah, how long ago was that? Right? 14 years ago. That woman in the UPS truck, would she find some old Oxy in a trash can at CVS? I doubt it. We are increasing people that truly feel that all these individuals are just along for the ride. I think it must make it easier that way, in all seriousness. I think that there's many people that want to believe that there really is a God. Hold on, let me finish the sentence. You are just a puppet on a string, where your actions are not your own. I was having a discussion with someone, not recently, but just like last year, and they were like, I firmly believe that wherever you are, that's exactly where God wanted you to be. And I said, I completely disagree with that. You mean unemployed, didn't go to college, not holding out a job? Like, what God made you? No, God gave you a brain so you'd study, so maybe you could go to college. Maybe you could have a profession or a career. Oh, so that's who we're blaming. So the fact that you wouldn't go to school, you'd skip school, not do homework, wouldn't pay attention in class, smoke weed all day and drink beer. Oh, so that's God's fault. That wasn't your decision to do that. Come on, what are we talking about? This is crazy. No, that woman. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. That no one is calling McKee out. It's going to go hand in hand. Now, as many listen, I do have a different perspective. I lived in Los Angeles for a summer. I lived in New York for 9 years. I have family there. I'm in and out of there all the time. I have been in and out of New York City since the late 80s. So obviously, spent a lot of time in Boston. I have a different perspective. And I also have a lot of different news sources that I go to. But what you are seeing, and no one is addressing, and the worst person that we should have in charge right now is Governor McGreed. 100%. This guy is so the Peter principle. Day late and dollar short in a major way. And by the way, don't ever let anyone tell you differently that the station down the dial that I used to be employed by completely let his campaign surrogate 3 hours a day on the air. Yeah, because that's ethical. Because that's fair to the other candidates. You want to talk about corruption. But I want to talk about why this and where this narrative is going is interesting. Folks, this portion of the program, it's brought to you by AtMed Urgent Care. Now listen, they're open 7 days a week. Pop in if, in fact, you need urgent care. AtMed Urgent Care. And if you want to wait for hours at a hospital emergency room, you can do it. Sal of DePetro.com already has the making of a Christmas ornament, an ornament that we will have in the shop at DePetro.com that has the UPS truck and then the woman standing on top of it. But AtMed Urgent Care, hey, I've been to both locations. Why did I go there instead of an emergency room? Because I needed urgent care. They're open 7 days a week. They have doctors and nurses. AtMed Urgent Care, 1524 Atwood Avenue at Johnston, 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. AtMed Urgent Care. They're very comprehensive, and I'll just cut to the chase. It's faster. It's faster. They will see you faster. I received a sad email from Teresa. Took her grandmother to the emergency room, Rhode Island Hospital. 7-hour wait. And they were the only ones that spoke English. But she said, Juan, we needed you. I said, well, you have Google Translate. AtMed Urgent Care. Folks, next time someone's injured at work, what have you, that's where you want to go. AtMed Urgent Care. 1237. Now, with this situation you saw, do you see where things are going? You don't have anyone locally talking about this. I don't even know if nationally. A lot of times, I have a friend who's like, Juan, you sell yourself short. Because many times you say, I don't know if anyone locally is. And this is someone that follows news and listens to everything. Like, I don't think some of the points you make, no one nationally is speaking out or making the argument as convincingly and clear as the chosen one. But you see what is happening right now is look at the direction Rhode Island is going in the narrative, the progressives, the elected officials. They're not leaders. You mean the elected leaders? They're not leaders. They're elected officials in position of power. And the narrative they're creating. And it's false narratives. Number one, cannabis is harmless. And Rhode Island's going to be better off with the tax revenue. I already disagree. Because there's many people that the last thing they need is more drugs. And they need to be smoking. Listen, it makes people lazy. How many people remember the fat burnout, like in high school or college? There's always can you even use that word anymore? The fat kid. Male, lazy, always boning up, right? Eat unhealthy and wanted to just zone out and watch TV or videos or play video games, whatever. Well, there's a lot of that going on. But that element and I am not saying alcohol is, it's dangerous and it does dangerous things to people. But a lot of people kind of have learned from that. And we have Uber, and we have, drunk driving cut down. And so in AA, there's a lot of attention. Alcohol is very damaging. Alcohol is contributes tremendously to crime. I think 50% of crimes are committed by people who are, in fact, they're intoxicated. And when I'm with the police and other times, many times the people they're drunk when they do it. But the false narrative that is going forward right now is that the homeless people, they're victims. They're victims of the government. They're victims of housing and the housing crisis. And it could be any one of us. And that is a narrative they are pushing forward. And as I've said, how come in Los Angeles there are 70,000 homeless people, not one of them is Asian? That woman on the UPS thing, I'm going to go out on a limb and say she's probably homeless. So it is the drugs that make them do that. Now, what is Governor McKee? I admit, Rhode Island does have a housing crisis. Okay, they need to build more units. They need to expand into certain parts of the state. That part I admit. Being unemployed and doing illicit drugs are not going to help you solve your homeless problem. During the pandemic, though, McKee, Biden, what'd they do? Don't pay your rent. You can't evict anybody, right? Housing is a human right. All these groups, the progressives, don't pay. Every landlord's greedy, blah, 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 don't pay. Can't evict anybody, squatters and everything else. And then giving them all that COVID money so then they didn't want to work. And now we are stuck with people who have been unemployed, who just want to smoke weed, who don't want to work. And now, what is Governor McKee doing? What is Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee? Boy, you got to hand it to him, folks. The damage that he is doing could be irreversible for the state. He is going to introduce these, quote, safe injection sites. Safe injection sites. And exactly what is that going to... First of all, it's not going to solve anything. It's going to encourage drug use. Read about the users. Read about the junkies. Read about the people that say, I'm finally clean. And they say, I've had friends die from fentanyl. I've had friends die in Narcan and everything. Think how common Narcan is now. And they say something that is a deterrent from me doing a lot of these drugs of, smoking heroin, of doing some blow, doing some crystal meth, which is brutal when it gets into the veins. I am not arguing it's not highly addictive. But and obviously, heroin, opioids. But a big fear is that they may get fentanyl, OD, and they're dead. And enter Governor McKee, right? Mr. Spineless, right? Governor Jellyfish, who doesn't have a backbone, who is going along with this progressive idea that it's actually going to be good for the communities to have a center where people can go get their drugs tested to make sure that they're clean. This is even embarrassing to discuss. What do you think someone is when someone is at a liquor store and walks up to the counter and slaps a six-pack down? Do you think they just want to find out how much it costs? What do you think they're going to do with the six-pack? They're going to purchase it, and many times they start drinking it in the parking lot. So when someone goes to one of these McKee safe injection sites, and then it's like French Connection where the guy's like, look at that, purest junk I've ever seen. Wow. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Walter White, the blue stuff, purest meth available. You got Hank running them down. What do you think they're going to do when the person working there says, boy, you got yourself, where'd you get that? Boy, that is really quality junk that you got there. What do you think the next step is? They're going to look at it? They're going to flush it down the toilet? They're going to hand it all. There you go. No, they're going to use it. Now they're going to use it and be like, the good news is I don't think I'm going to die from this because I just had it. Wait till the lawsuits start. Hey, Elmo over there, you guys tested his drugs and he still died. So now you're going to sue the state. That what you saw And that video of that woman, the hood ornament on the UPS truck, this is what's frightening that no one is talking about. That's going to become a common occurrence, because that is a common occurrence. You look at that stuff does go on in San Francisco. That stuff does go on in Washington State, Pacific Northwest. They have destroyed Seattle. They have destroyed Portland. They have destroyed San Francisco, where big chain retailers don't even want to be there anymore. San Francisco can't even get conventions anymore because people get tired of stepping over all the junkies and the drug addicts. And now LA is doing their part to take it on. So now you enter Dan McKee, the guy that really shouldn't even be governor because he didn't get the day of vote. And his brilliant idea is safe injection centers. How pathetic. You've got to be kidding me. So we're supposed to, let me guess, right? Spoiler alert. The woman on the UPS truck is the victim. That's what we're supposed to believe. Isn't that sad? That poor woman who was robbed from her family, who insisted on doing drugs. Listen, there needs to be more. Do you think the element, is Governor McKee going to be preaching don't do drugs or just do them safely? Because that's really what it's coming down to. It's really going to be the safety element, right? The safety element. We want you to have a safe experience. There are people out there that talk about doing drugs, and it's leading people to do drugs. Joe Rogan, he talks about doing mushrooms and trying different drugs. And he talks about them with other people that have done them. Again, no judgment here. He's got a very successful podcast going. But what was really interesting was he had on a player who was a defensive lineman in the NFL. And he used to, before a game, whose name escapes me, but it's a really interesting interview. So before a game, think of this, he played college and then he would play, he was a defensive lineman in the NFL, which is like, it's killers. It's like, it is combat play after play. There's a certain type of individual that plays on the line. It's the most ferocious. And they even joke, like you see the quarterback coming in suit and tie, you see the wide receiver arriving in the stadium, suit and tie, and then the lineman's coming in like cargo shorts and like sunglasses, hat on backwards, and like sandals, or flip-flops. But this guy, before a college game and a pro game, he would take mushrooms, which really make you very emotional, and he would take Adderall, so he'd be focused. So, but what he would do is he would take mushrooms before an NFL game, and he would work himself and think of rotten things that happened to him as a kid and work himself up into a rage. But it wasn't a normal rage. It was a drug-enhanced rage. And then literally be on the field ready to kill someone. I mean, that's where we're at. And there's going to be more different types of drugs and people experimenting with drugs. So, but that woman, I want you, like that guy, the NFL player, he was taking the Adderall. He was taking the mushrooms. He's not a victim, right? This argument that it's hand in hand, as I said earlier, and not to belabor the point, but I can't imagine that someone starts doing heroin and their life turns around. The light goes off. It all comes together. I can't imagine. We don't hear of people, they started drinking and things just really fell into place, right? My acting career really took off once I started doing cocaine. I mean, you don't hear anyone. Look at John Belushi, who was famous on that one. But my point is, this whole element of the mental health, their mental health changes You're not rational when you're like incredibly hungover. You're not thinking rational. You can barely function. Thank God. I don't remember the last time I was hungover. It's so not worth it and can be easily avoided. But someone who's hungover, do they have a mental health crisis? They certainly feel like the most hungover you've ever been. Were you experiencing a mental health crisis? No, you weren't thinking rational. You felt like hell. You couldn't function. Maybe you had to call in sick, whatever it was. But it was because of the amount of alcohol that you consumed. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, and remember, it's brought to you by Falcon Pest Services. Call today, 401 739 1322. 401 739 1322, Falcon Pest Services. If you're looking right now on this Tuesday, Rhode Island or Southeastern Mass, and you need a terminator, you need an exterminator, you need Falcon Pest Services for termites, for ants, bed bugs, roaches, mice, rats, mosquitoes, multifamily housing, condos, apartments, extermination services for businesses, hotels, restaurants, Falcon Pest Services. Call today, call John and Kelly, free quote, and they have a tremendous opportunity for the right person. That's right, they're hiring. 401 739 1322. With your home or business, if you noticed you have some ants, you have some termites, you have some mosquitoes or rats or mice or roaches, Falcon Pest Services, 401 739 1322. Folks, good afternoon at 12:51 on this Tuesday. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. This portion of the program, and it's brought to you by Ryan's Appliance Repair. Remember what we say when your appliance is dying? Hey, come on, Harry, just call Ryan. Ryan's Appliance Repair, whatever it may be. Can he fix a washing machine? Is it an appliance? Can he fix a dryer? Is it an appliance? Yes. What about a stove, refrigerator? What is this, obvious man? Ryan's Appliance Repair, 401 710 7096. When your appliance is dying, just call Ryan. Ryan's Appliance Repair, 401 710 7096. All makes and models. And again, you can find him on Facebook. So at 12:52, this problem right now with both homeless and with drug addiction, it's going to get worse. These homeless encampments, they're many of them, not all, many of them, they're in expensive tents. They're not cardboard boxes. Is it sad when you see people that are lying on a park bench? Of course it is. But one of the reasons you're going to see more of it is because there are people that are fully vested in it. It's actually, think of all these homeless advocates and Crossroads, and their whole business keeps getting bigger and bigger. And they want to put more people with EBT cards and food stamps. And, it's so, I admit, it is really unfair that these individuals, that during the pandemic, they didn't have to pay rent. They got extra money on their EBT card. They would grab what they needed, the food pantries. They were kind of living it up, and they weren't working. And they were giving them money. And now all of a sudden, the music stopped. It's like a nightclub. And the lights went on. And what does that mean? It means it's time to go home. Right? Just like closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So you have, and I'll go back to those people at the State House when they were being kicked out. And all of these progressive media types and progressive and activists, where are they supposed to go now? Who's going to drive them over there? What are they supposed to do for dinner? Where are they going to sleep tonight? Suddenly, the state is adopting all these adults who are like, yeah, that's right. Where am I going tonight? Who's going to give me a ride? Yeah, that's right. Who's going to give me a free phone? Hey, we are an incredible land of opportunity. people, look, one thing I'll say, the southern border, which is a mess, but look at the people trying to get in here, trying to get into America. And one thing, as I've said in the past, the illegals, they work. A lot of them do want to get in here and work. Not all, but a lot of them do want to get in here and work. And I have employers I know. Let's say, I don't know what I would do. No one was applying. No one was applying to do these jobs. But you're going to start, and these people, I wish we would take care of our own people before. How much more? I want to be really clear. Anyone that's posting that, before we send money to Ukraine, we should help these Americans. I want to remind people that at any time of day or night, you can drive to the nearest homeless encampment or the nearest panhandler and hand over that extra money that you want to give them. At any time. See, that's the beauty of a free country. And I encourage all of you, whenever you see someone put that on a post, I think it's terrible, and in this country we should take care of our own people. You are 100% right, and the beauty of our country is you are completely free to go and do that. But don't expect the rest of us, because that's not what the way the system is built. Our system is built for everybody contributes. It's part of the American dream. It is capitalism. It is you make the money and you get to keep the money. In people that say, whoa, what about taxes? You have no idea what the taxes are like in fact, other countries. What it's like in other countries and how they just take things from people. Why people, look at the parties over in Venezuela as they're all flooding out of there. There are people that come here and say it is unbelievable in America. You can make money and you can keep your money and they don't cap you and the government just doesn't take all your wealth. Do you think it's like that in Russia? Do you think it's like that in China? What are these other countries? Do you have any idea the tax rate in Greece or France or some of these other countries? We're the laughing stock of the world. What? Where? Why? What other countries? Why? Where else do you want to go live? Who's laughing at us? Our borders are crammed with people that want to get in here. Who's laughing at us? Canada? I think Canada's laughing at us. We're the laughing stock. Mexico's laughing at us. I highly doubt that. Cuba's laughing at us. Okay. Well, go live there. See what it's like. People have no idea what you're talking about. I just think we should take care of the people in this country. Then go right ahead. No, the spending has to get under control, and the Republicans are trying to do that in D.C. We have plenty of safety nets for people that do stumble. It's good. It's tremendous we have that. But it's not, we're not running a commune here. Okay? McKee thinks he's running a commune. We're not running a commune. You're free to go live in Vermont or the Pacific Northwest or wherever the hell else you want to go. But we're not running a commune here. It's kind of an easy system. You just get a job, you work, you get to keep your money, then you get a home or apartment, and you get to live the American dream. What becomes so hard? Yeah, but I don't want to work. And I want to be able to do drugs. And I don't want to have to pay rent. And I want people to give me money. Well, it kind of doesn't work that way. Not what it worked that way. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, and it's brought to you by Limitless Outdoors. It truly is, it's true. It's really limitless what they can do. They're based in Smithfield. Call Chris today, free quote, 401-580-1852. And it all starts with a discussion. How do you want to use your outdoor space? Limitless Outdoors, patios, walkways, steps. How about an outdoor kitchen? How about an outdoor fireplace? Landscape lighting, oven, outdoor fireplace, outdoor fire pit, retaining walls, lawn insulation, excavation. Limitless Outdoors. Remember their slogan, dream, build, enjoy. Call Chris, free quote, they're right in Smithfield, 401-580-1852, 401-580-1852 for Limitless Outdoors. Well, folks, it's 12:59. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Now, here's what we're going to do. Coming up, you're going to hear the 1 o'clock news. I will be doing first one on the scene live stream later. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel as well. And then we will be doing, that will lead into some form of One After Dark. So we're going to break for the 1 o'clock news. We have another full hour to go. You're going to hear Donna Perry's coming up next. And also Representative John Brean joins us. It's all ahead right here after the 1 o'clock news on the John DePetro Show.